covert female or male narcissist will come in like a parade with all the bells and whistles. They're probably been emotionally, intimately and sexually starved. They're usually enmeshed, be it to drugs or family members or both, or people that they've familiarized themselves with, acquaintances that have influences over them that aren't normal or natural, and this in turn brings the voids that you'll experience with these types of people. You will experience voids, terrible voids, but they'll come into your life like a parade, and they'll go out of your life the same way. You'll see the parade coming down the street with all the flags and all the streamers and cheers and shouts, etc. And then you'll see the parade passing through with all its glamour and presentation and everything it has to offer. And then more or less you'll see the parade passing by and you're still standing where you were when it come along. That's how narcissism works. Now people think narcissists are angry and all this kind of thing. Get out of it. But that's not necessarily true. Get out of it. And narcissists are people that come into your life and without reasonable explanation, only the fact that you need to have the sense to know that some people just ain't going to make it, deteriorate, fall away as it were while you're trying to push in. They're falling away, and this leads to a devaluation or a sense of devaluation of who you are. Not that it actually devalues you, but in the sense of the word, the relationship gets devalued because that person's really not making a conscious effort to make it work. And of course, this leaves you in a state of confusion, hurt, delusion as to how relationships work, what really was behind all of it. And I can tell you quite simply that person was probably sexually, intimately unspoken for. You'd come along for whatever reason and by whatever reason, and they were relatively attracted to you and they were willing to accept you as an intimate source, but the result of it after a period of time was that you weren't going to be able to be a partner. So you have been used as an intimate supply, an intimate source, temporary source, until they were unable to accept you or need you anymore. And this could take 2, 3, 4, 5 years. They just run out of attraction, they run out of a desire to continue on. This leaves you in a quandary, questioning what actually happened to me, what was it that I was involved in, why did that person fall out of love with me? And there can be many, many reasons for this. It doesn't have to be described specifically as narcissism. It's very narcissistic, but there is a part of humanity in our society that just wants a piece of people, some sexual supply, and then to move on from that once they've had their fill. That's just simply how it works. And unfortunately, if we fall to that style of culture, then we will be bruised and wounded and harmed by that. Now, it's not uncommon and it's not new, but it is becoming, people are becoming more aware of it, how lethal and powerful and harmful these narcissistic, deteriorative people are. And for all counts, they're not necessarily bad people. They just have a nature inside them that's unable to facilitate in a healthy way a long-lasting relationship. Usually they're enmeshed. Hank! Hey! Usually they're enmeshed or at least addicted to something. You'll find that they're very close to the parent for whatever reason, and it'll be extra maternal. It will not be on a normal, come on, a normal maternal plane. It'll be in an unhealthy way, and this will cause tension and frustration for you, especially if you're in a relationship with one of these people. And again, let me reiterate, there's 80% of these types of relationships that don't work and 20% that do. If you're in the 20% and you're able to tolerate it, then good luck to you. But you can't argue with statistics at the same time, because they're proving that this kind of culture, sexual intimate culture, which fails, is becoming more prevalent with all the loss of identity as to whether somebody's male or female, etc. People don't know anymore. But there's a certain percentage that don't know whether they're male or female, and people aren't assisting them with that. They're just going along with that. Counsellors are just saying, just put your card on here and pay for this session, and we'll just make sure you feel all right about the wrong path you're going down. There's not much truth left. And what is truth? Well, Pilate asked Jesus that, so you might do yourself well to do the same and see if you can get the same answer out of him. I challenge you to look up what Jesus said to Pontius Pilate 2,000 years ago. Because a lot of people say, well, what is normal? Well, look at the Bible, that'll tell you. You see, when people make statements like that, you find yourself in a way without answers. But we do have answers. We have them in the New Testament. But that in itself takes tremendous navigation and understanding to comprehend and realize. And of course, people try and find ways of justifying their shortcomings and things, and that's up to them. It's not, shouldn't be of any onus on you, but what you need to do is make sure that you're trying to be as healthy and as happy as you can be with the commitment you've made and the environment that you've put yourself in with the person that you're with. Sometimes people just by the way that they're made and the blend that they have with the person that they've met, for all expectations of happiness and longevity, find that somebody falls out of attraction. And again, this is part of forming relationships. Not all relationships are going to flourish. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Not all relationships are going to flourish, and we have to accept that. That's just how it is. But most of us want to have strong, healthy relationships. There's just no guarantee of that happening. Now we've got a man and his dog coming down at speed. Hank, come on, quick. Hup, hup. No, he's going to turn away, is he? Yeah. So we'll go back. See, even in marriage now, there's really no promises. You can stand there and say what you like. I've been in 2 marriages that for whatever reason haven't lasted, and people will go to great lengths to make sure that they don't. The second one was an absolute catastrophe. Don't you end up the same. Be wise, be strong, and don't let these people deceive you.